Want to make real money? Start with history, the history of money. Not boring dates, but the story of how money's value, protection, and manipulation shaped markets. Every investment you make is priced in dollars, but what gives a dollar its value? That's changed a lot over time. Ignoring this is like sailing without a compass. You're just guessing. The rules of money have been rewritten many times, creating huge winners and losers. By studying these shifts, you spot patterns and understand how governments and central banks react in a crisis. This isn't just academic, it's actionable intelligence for your portfolio. Before your next trade, think like a historian. What forces shape my cash? What happened last time? It's not about perfect timing, but deep understanding, the real edge, knowing the story behind the system. That's how you stay sane and profitable when the world gets crazy. Let's take a quick trip back in time. The gold standard, simple, powerful. The dollar was a claim check for real gold. You could swap paper for bullion. This anchored the economy and kept the government from printing money at will. Stability was the name of the game. Inflation was tamed, and your savings held value. Predictability made long-term planning possible. But there was a trade-off. Growth was tied to gold supply. Not enough gold, the economy slowed. In a crisis, the government's hands were tied. They couldn't just print more cash. Stability came at the cost of flexibility. Investors back then focused on finding good companies, not worrying about currency value. The gold standard was a governor, steady, but sometimes too slow. Your money was real because it was backed by something real. It's a concept that still makes people nostalgic. But no system is perfect, and change was coming. Early 1900s, financial chaos, bank failures everywhere, and the gold standard couldn't stop the panic. Enter the Federal Reserve in 1913, the lender of last resort, designed to prevent bank collapses. The Fed brought confidence and liquidity, operating alongside gold for a while. It was a hybrid gold stability, Fed's flexibility, but soon the Fed's role expanded. It wasn't just about bank panics anymore. The dual mandate arrived to control inflation and maximize employment. Now, the Fed was the chief mechanic of the US economy. But this created tension. How do you stimulate growth while promising every dollar is backed by gold? It was like driving with one foot on the gas, one on the brake. Eventually the country had to choose gold's discipline or the Fed's power. We know which one won. The stage was set for a new era. 1971. Nixon ends the gold standard. The dollar becomes fiat, valuable because the government says so. The Fed is unleashed, free to print money to meet its goals. Today the Fed is the market's most powerful force. Every word from the Fed chair can move markets. Cheap borrowing fuels booms. Tight money triggers recessions. But trust is fragile. When the Fed prints trillions, asset prices soar, then comes inflation. Your cash loses purchasing power. Prices rise everywhere. This is the cost of leaving gold's discipline behind. The takeaway? Know this history. We're living in a massive monetary experiment. Understanding gold and the Fed helps you see why inflation matters and why real assets are smart. Don't just follow headlines. Know the story behind them. That's how you protect your wallet. Booyah!